Hi, friends. It's Marvelous Monday time, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've got some really beautiful things to show you. I have a fun fold that we're making from the Country Birdhouse Bundle, but also I just got my swap, and it's stunning. And while I can't show you the catalog inside until Wednesday, I have some beautiful swaps I wanted to show you before we get to this fun fold. So if you've got a little time to watch, it's fabulous. So this is a card that we're going to be making today, and it's just a cute little fun fold that allows you to focus on the cute little stand, but also have a sweet little sentiment on the inside. I'm going to switch up just a little bit because I'm not sure I like this brown on the inside while I have this embossed on the outside, but we'll get into that here shortly. So the first thing I want to show you is there is a sweet collection called Take to the Sky, and these are the cards that I got for that. And as you can see, they have some fabulous dies. So any of your guy friends, or actually even female friends that are lovers of flying, these are beautiful. So this is a beautiful die cut that you can see, and it was made by Betty Weisbridge. So that's a beautiful card. And then we've got another one here. This is using the stamp set. And this is done by Deb Clafficky. Anyway, these are ladies here in the Minnesota area that are silver or above. So just another really beautiful example with the stamps and just a little bit of, looks like watercoloring. And this is one of the embellishments that comes with the suite. So I didn't get this one, but it's a great set as well. And then this one here, I mean, all these sentiments are great. They're different. So this one says flying by to say hi. This one says happy birthday. This one says you always lift me up. So, and then this one was done by Karen Titus. Isn't that great? And then a little bit of 3D. And then these are the pearls that come in the Country Woods suite. And then this is another happy birthday, but again with another image. And all four of these are just so different. I love the examples that I got. And this one was made by Sandy McManus. So just another great card. It's got a great embossing here. This is like a really big swirl pattern. I don't know if you can see it very well, but just another great card. So I love that. Okay, so that's the Take to the Sky. And while I'd love to be able to show you the inside of the catalog, I can't. Okay, so this is the Thoughtful Journey Suite Collection. And there's memories and more cards as well. And so I will be featuring that in July. So isn't that cute? What a fun, sweet, fun fold. So the glittery paper is part of it. And it looks like she colored these with blends or with the markers. I'm not sure. And then this one was done by Michelle Brainick. And just really beautiful. Sets up really nicely. And then this one was done by Desiree Crum. And this is some of the really pretty paper that it comes. Actually, this is a different suite, and I'll show that to you shortly. But this stamp set is from the Thoughtful Journey stamp set. And then this sentiment and die is from the one that I showed you the other day, which is the Unbound Beauty and Unbound Love. The stamps and dies. Okay, this one is Have a Blessed Day, and again, it's that really beautiful designer series paper. And this one was done by Janine Paulren. I'm sorry, I'm having such a hard time with the names, but anyway, it's another really beautiful card. And then this last one, this one was done by Lynn Feldkamp. And really beautiful with the detail. And this is that swirl embossing folder again. And this was the Lynn Feldkamp. So really beautiful cards. I have to say this fun fold is my favorite. Just really beautiful. And it fits in an envelope, which is just great. So, okay. The next one is, these both are from the other part of the Country Wood Suite, which is the Country Flowers. So these are some of the little stamp sets or stamps that are in that. And this is that really pretty eyelet designer series, and it's called Country Lace. Yes, and it's 12 by 12 cardstock. So this was done by Aurora Tucker. And then this one, again, is using that eyelet. And this is some of that basic beige cardstock. And this one was done by Terry. I'm not sure. Starts with a K. But really beautiful. I love it. A little Wink of Stella on the roses. Not sure if you can see that. So I love that the Country Lace has a denim on the back of each one of them. So, okay. So this was the most popular here, the Unbounded Beauty, which I showed you the Unbounded Love dies and sentiments when I did my cards. And so that's what looks like everyone, most everyone did it, because I've got 6 cards here in this suite. The papers are really pretty, but this one actually is the assorted in color cardstock. So she used that. This is Kathy Seal, and these are the layers of those dies, which the Unbounded Love dies are just amazing. I love them. They've got so much variety. So it looks like there was lots of different ones. So that one's another happy birthday. And this is from Carol Steinbrecher. And this is some of the DSP that's from that suite collection. Isn't that pretty? And then this is the ribbon from the Country Woods. So it's really pretty. And then this one's really pretty. This is more of the designer series paper. And then this is that swirl 3D. I'm not sure what the embossing folder is called. And this is from Mary Kiley. That beautiful with the sparkly. So this is the shimmer paper that comes with it, and it's called In Color Glimmer Paper. And so what you find is this suite actually is using all the in colors, which is kind of a fun change. And this is, again, those labels, some of the dies that come with the Flowers of Beauty. And this is Denise Quayle. This one was done by Holly Sutton, Balta, and it looks like a fun fold. And it's showing the DSP and then the in color sparkling gems, I think is what they're called. Or no, yes, but this doesn't come with the suite, so really pretty, lots of sparkle. And then we have another one using the DSP. And she used the stamps from the Flowers of Beauty. And this looks like a really nice fun fold. And this was done by Susan Campfield. She's just so talented. I'm so thrilled that I'm getting beautiful stuff from her. So I've long admired her work. Okay, so that's all the Unbound Beauty. And then we have just a bundle. This is called Layers of Beauty Stamp Set. And this was done by Tree Westerman. And this is a really beautiful design. I like how she did this. So it looks like she stamped it first and then die cut it out. with some circle dies, and I'm not sure. I think those are some of the. I'm not sure the name of the basic dies or whatever. And then these are some of the resin dots that come with that last Thoughtful Journey. So, Tree Westerman. Okay, so that's that bundle. These were all available in the pre-sale, so it was nice that I was able to do this swap with these folks. Okay, so this is Spotlighted Nature, and she used the in color assorted cardstock. And so this is a great way to show the colors to your friends and customers. But and then the stamp is from this nature Spotlight of Nature, and it's too bad she didn't use the dies. They're really wonderful dies, and I haven't gotten this bundle yet. This was done by Brenda Springer, so really beautiful card. Well done. And then I have, this is from In the Grove bundle. So it's got a great set of trees, and it looks like a fox. I think that's a fox. Or it could be a coyote. And there's no sentiment, so I don't recall which sentiment this is from. And this was done by Carol Johnson. So it's really pretty how she put the stamps on the DSP. And I think this is from the Unbounded Love, or Unbounded, what's it called? Unbounded Beauty DSP. So really pretty. And then this one, which I'm so excited about. I don't know how long you've been a stamper, but if you've been around for a while, the Lovely as a Tree was a favorite for years and years, and was in this catalog, or in the selection from Stampin' Up. And they finally came back with a Lovely as Tree dies. And this is very similar to the Lovely as a Tree. And so this will be one that I get just for sentimental reasons. I just love it so much. It's so pretty. So actually, this Happy Birthday that I showed you from the last card, that I wasn't sure where it was from. Anyway, it came from this. Yeah, so this one right here, with the fox. It comes from the Loveliest Tree Sentiments. So, and this one was done by Katie Johnson. So I love how she's used a couple of different colors to get the tree colors here. So let me show you that. And this is that basic beige cardstock, and that, I need to look it up. I keep telling you I don't know what it's called, but I can just look it up here. So I think there's a page that gives me all of the embossing folders. I thought there was. Here we go. So Swirly. So I was close with the swirls. So it's called So Swirly. And I think this is the one that's like 8 by 10 or 6 by 8 or something. It's huge. It's a huge embossing folder, and they have those now. So, which is great, because especially when you're doing multiples, you'll be able to do more. Okay, so let's get to the fun fold. Okay, so this is the really cute fun fold that I have that we're doing. And we'll just set it here so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So just we'll set up on the mantle or bookshelf or whatever, and just have this really adorable birdhouse just showing off. Okay, so I already prepared all the pieces, and I used all the dies again, so it's very similar to the card that I made last Monday, which is like this. So I used the same embossing folder, which is, excuse me, the Eyelet 3D embossing folder for some of the cardstock. I'm not going to do any distressing. Okay. So for my base, I'm using the Pool Party, and I cut it 4.5 by 11. Hold on, I've got a tickle. Okay, so I embossed, or I scored it at 5.5. And actually, I should look at it this way. So I scored it at 2 3/4 inch and then 5.5, so that I have that extra fold. So it's a really easy, fun fold. The only thing that you need to do in order to get it to stay up is just make sure that you have something on the inside that will help you get it to stay open, like so. Okay. All right, so I cut out some pieces of this is early espresso, and as a base with the pool party. Okay, and I'm going to be cutting it so that there is the ability for it to fold. Okay, and so I'm just going to glue this on. And I cut these at, let me get my, so I'm going to be putting it really close to the fold, but so that it's still able to fold really easily. So this is 4 1/8 by 2, and it's not quite 5/8. It's like 1/16 inch. And I know that's like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to go brain dead having to do a 1/16 of an inch. But what I wanted is I just wanted a tiny little bit off so that I could bend this still. Because I think when you do all the layers, it's harder to bend unless you've got a nice little cut in the cardstock. So I want these two to line up so it still can bend. Okay, and we're going to cover up that bend with ribbon here shortly. Okay, these are for the inside. All right, and then I'm going to be adding, and I cut these at 3.5 and the same height as the crumb cake. I'm not distressing the edges on this. I'm not doing the white craft ink or anything like that. I'm just letting this be the way it is once it's been embossed. And if you cut it just right, you'll find that it actually lines up nicely, but I think I glued the wrong one down first. So I have to be, it's close. I don't think anybody will notice. Okay. All right, and then I cut an extra of the birdhouse in basic white because when this gets flipped up, I want it to have a little bit of support. And the DSP is a lot thinner and bending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this on my basic white cardstock so it has a little bit of support. And then I'm just going to line them up. And then I'm going to glue this onto my card, and I'm going to leave it like, I don't know, like 1/8 of an inch from the bottom of the card. Can you see where I'm putting it? Okay, so I'm going to make sure that I don't glue above this eave on the gable. So I'm going to go below that. So I want it centered on the card and then just about 1/8 of an inch up. So don't glue the top. That way when you fold it, it pops up. Okay, so now I die cut the roof and the perch, or the base of it, in some of this designer series paper, and it's this distressed paint, which I love, and it's in, I believe it's Misty Moonlight, so that's the color it looks like. And then I die cut the little scalloped gable in some of that distressed white that I showed you earlier. And then this little bit here is just another detail, and you don't have to use it, but I like it. And so it was done in the Pool Party DSP as well. Okay, so let's glue this scalloped down first. Excuse me. And I'm going to use a pair of tweezers because I tend to get glue all over myself. Now, if you look at the scallop of the birdhouse down here at the bottom of the eave, you'll notice that it actually lines up perfectly with this scallop. So that way, when you're putting it together, you just need to line it up with that scallop. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little tiny few pieces of rolled up glue dot. And this might be something you want to use the tweezers for as well, because they're pretty small. And then I'm just going to line that up just so that it kind of overlaps just a wee bit. Okay, now for this last piece, I'm going to use some black DSP or some black dimensionals, but you can use white as well. And you can see that the back side of this DSP is the same that's on the front. So, but I want contrast for my little birdhouse. I don't know what I did with my thumb, but and you know how you poke underneath your cuticle? That's what I've done, and I can barely use my thumb. It's very tender. All right. When you're working with little pieces, I think it's definitely way better to use okay. All right, and now for the bigger piece. There's bigger dimensionals, but I'm just going to go ahead and use these little ones because I think they'll do fine. Okay, and then I'm just going to line it up at the bottom. Okay, so again, I used a 1-inch punch to cut out the little bird hole. And as you can see, it has the distressed white on the back. So I'm just going to glue this on. And I want it about right here, and I'm going to have the wood grain line up as well. And then I have this little perch, and I'm going to put a dimensional behind it so it kind of sticks out. And we'll just stick it right under. Okay, so instead of using cardstock for my little flowers, I cut out the flowers and the leaves from the DSP. It looks like I'm missing a leaf. Ah, there it is. I knew it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one aside and this leaf aside because that's going to go on the inside. And then I'll start with this biggest flower. And not the biggest one, but the next to the biggest. I'm going to put it right here. Some of these flowers, the centers are so small, you might have to use dimensionals that are cut in half. Like this one here. So I've got some that are in half, and then they don't show up. Whoops, I just put this on the wrong side. There we go. And then I've got this cute little one here that needs to go in the background. So I've got a cute little grouping of flowers. And then I put the leaves down. I'm letting everything pop up this time, and then I'm just kind of tucking it in. Kind of letting it go in between. There we go. And I am using the 3 Gems 3-pack, and I'm happy to say that this is a carryover from the catalog from last year. And so I am going to use 3 little ones for the centers of these flowers in the Misty Moonlight. So it looks like they're in Fresh Freesia, Misty Moonlight, and then I am thinking this is Coastal Cabana, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's Granny Apple Green. Okay. And then on the inside, I'm putting in a 4-inch by, I think I should have done a wider size, but I'm going to go ahead and glue this to the inside. It's going to be behind the little card when it's open, and I'm going to put it all the way up to the top, just with maybe a little bit of a gap. And then I'm going to glue down. The more layers you have down here, the better, because it gives more for your little fun fold to hold on to. So I'm just making sure the bottom 3 edges are the same width around. So it's like 4 1/8 by 2 1/4, I believe. And then I should have let this be a little bit longer. So let me, I have some extra. So I'm going to cut it to be, I want to say 2 1/8. But let's just make sure. And then I want it to be 3 1/2 wide. Like this side. Okay. The other one was just a smidge too short. Okay, and then I'm going to place this, which is going to be the stand, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals. Excuse me, so sorry. And then I'm going to need to have some smaller pieces that are cut in half for these little S curves. Because they're black, they're not going to show up with the dark brown designer series paper. And that will give it lots to hold on to when it's open. Let's just make sure this is going in the middle. Of course, it wants to stick to me. And then it's not quite long enough, but that's okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this flower and then these leaves to kind of distract you from the fact that it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Okay, so again, I'm adding dimensionals to the back. And I'm going to add this flower right here. And then this leaf is so little it needs another half of a dimensional. And then I'll just tuck this right in here. And then we're done with this part, and then I'm going to put another one of the bigger Misty Moonlight 3-pack gems. Okay, so now the last thing I need to do is place the ribbon and the sentiment. So I'm going to need to have about, I think, 16 inches, just to be careful when you're going around, so you have plenty of room to make your bow. And I'm going to put a couple of glue dots to help hold the ribbon in place. And what you're going to find is the glue dots will bend when that opens, so it won't matter. And I want the bow to be on this left side. You can put it on the right if that's what you'd rather do. Okay. And one of the things that's nice about putting down a glue dot is when you're trying to tie your knot, it kind of holds the ribbon in place, or your bow, sorry, not your knot, but your bow. It holds it, which is nice. All right. Okay, so have a scrap, any scrap that you have. And we're going to stamp this in Misty Moonlight. We're going to do a little fussy cutting. And so the Misty Moonlight is just nice and dark, which is good. And I just usually start at one end. And when you're doing the fussy cutting, you want to just let your other hand move it around and leave your scissors kind of in one position, so you're not ending up with a bunch of cramps in your hands. And you don't have to be perfect about it. I think that's, a lot of people get scared about fussy cutting Or maybe they're perfectionists and they beat each other up, or they beat themselves up. And I think just being kind to yourself. This is supposed to be fun, not stressful. It's very therapeutic. Gives you time to clear your thoughts and just enjoy the process. Okay, then we're going to glue that on to, I'm going to clean up this mess just in case I hit it. My trusty little ladybug vacuum. Got this from Amazon, so works great most of the time. And I'm just going to glue this on here so that I can, you want to be careful not to add too much glue. And then I'll fussy cut around it again. And you'll find that the second time you're fussy cutting is a lot looser than the first time. Because you don't have to be as detailed about where all your little loop-de-loops or humps or whatever are. Okay, and then I just used more dimensionals again. And you can use black or white, like I said. I have kittens in here somewhere. And they're getting into stuff. I can hear them. Just maybe one more little half piece. They always like to climb to the tallest cabinets, and then they leap down here to where I am and give me a heart attack. Hopefully they won't do it before the video ends. Okay, so the last little one is here. And then I think, actually I'm just going to add a couple more little gems because I think it kind of needs something to connect it. There, I like that better. So what do you think? Let me add another couple of gems to this. And which one do you like better? The wood one or the one that continues the petal pink embossed cardstock? So put your vote in the comments, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. We're doing good because we just a little over a half an hour, even after showing all those cards. If you missed all the cards from the new catalog, I had a swap of 20 cards. So be sure to rewatch the video so you can see some of the new sets that are coming out. And I'll try to get them on my Facebook page and my blog as well. So thanks again for joining me. If you're watching later from YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe or share with a friend. And I appreciate you supporting my small business.